from incentives to attract FDIs into the country. We need to have incentives to retain them. Currently, Malaysia does not grant a second round of incentives to manufacturing companies.
The businessman would welcome a clear statement from the government with regard to when GST will be implemented, so that businesses can take adequate steps in good time to implement the tax.
With the service sector as the engine of growth for Malaysia, I hope that Malaysia will reintroduce a fixed fee stamp duty of 10 ringgit for service agreements. In addition, with the transfer pricing requirements on intercompany loans, I wish the government will introduce a stamp duty relief for intercompany loans.
I think businesses would also welcome measures that would simplify the compliance of indirect taxes.
I believe that the government can introduce certain initiatives to encourage or facilitate the treatment of Malaysia as a hub for the oil and gas in this region.
The expectations are that if GST is to be implemented, it should be a progressive tax that would look towards reducing the cost of living.
Another area that the government could try to encourage is in developing the local capital markets. And in order for them, the financial institutions and the capital markets itself, to be able to provide funding and financing for these large-scale projects.
One of the areas that comes top of the list on the wish list of Malaysian is the provision of affordable living. So I believe as a listening government, there would be measures that will be adopted in this year's budget on this area. And at the same time, the government should also ensure that the overall property market remains robust and competitive.
There is a need for government policies to create a tax environment that is conducive to sustainable retirement and assisted healthcare.
The government should take cognizance that when it comes to rising properties, this could be concentrated on certain hotspots like Klang Valley, Johor Bahru and Penang.
There is hence an urgent need to review existing tax exemptions and reliefs to reflect today's trend, such as inflation, rising cost of living, subsidy cuts, and the imminent introduction of GST.
In managing this issue, I believe that the government could potentially adopt a two-pronged approach. One is the provision of support and incentives to increase affordability, and secondly will be to adopt measures that will curb spiraling property prices.
The government must ensure any good tax breaks are properly implemented, and the approval processes do not stifle the achievement of the desired objectives.
And I really hope that for this coming year budget, our PM will announce measures that will address the new challenges faced by the palm oil industry.
So I think I wish the government would basically consider the needs and the industry growth in granting incentive for the telco industry. I think more pressing is actually looking at incentive given to the capital expenditure that will be spent by the telco in trying to grow the industry.
It is expected that the industry will continue to explore a more reliable mechanized harvesting technology for the industry, and of course various efforts will be taken to entice the locals to actually work in the plantation sector. Therefore, any initiative or incentive in this area, I believe, would be welcomed by the plantation sector.